Q4 is often one of the busiest 3 months for content creators, and surviving it usually requires quite a bit of planning while also leaving enough room in your schedule for the unpredictable to happen. Between brands wanting to make the most of Black Friday and Christmas, and there being just so much potential content you can create around some of the most unique, specific, and aesthetic times of the year, it's easy to feel reactive to Q4 and find yourself so overwhelmed and behind before it's even started. If that's you, it's okay because it's usually me too. I'm notorious for posting Halloween content an entire year late because I can never seem to shoot it, edit it, and post it in time for it to still be relevant. And this is the year that stops. So we're going to prepare together as I share 5 things that I'm considering when planning an effective Q4 content strategy. I've got my pumpkin spice latte to really embrace the season. First, let's talk about brand deals because that's usually what people are thinking of when we talk about busy Q4s for content creators and influencers. But here's the thing, if you are only just starting to prepare for brand deals at the start of Q4, you're a little bit behind. That being said, let's look at our controllables. Are you planning on pitching brands? If so, the moment you're done watching this video, I need you to go and get started. Get your list together of ideal brands, put together a pitching template. ChatGPT is honestly great help for this, and start sending out hyper-focused pitches that detail exactly what you have in mind and what you're hoping to help the brand capitalize on. Is it for Black Friday, the holidays, apple picking season? Get this done as quickly as you can, but it's important to temper your expectations because marketing budgets are usually planned out well before each quarter, especially if you're planning to pitch large brands or corporations. And holiday campaign details are often almost completely ironed out by the time October starts. This is around the time they're gonna start reaching out to influencers to start plugging them into existing concepts, which is why it's still a great idea to pitch because they might not want you for your idea, but you might be the perfect creator for something that they have ready to go. If you are just starting to pitch in October, I do also recommend you shift your focus towards smaller or medium-sized brands because for smaller operations, 2 to 3 months out is still a decent ways away. They might not have as big of a budget, but pitching local businesses will likely give you a higher success rate. Now, talking about my personal Q4 strategy, I don't have it in me to pitch this year. I'm just trusting that my existing relationships and online presence will pull me through. So my Q4 focus for attracting brand deals is just continuing to post and increasing content frequency to give myself more chances to show up on a brand or agency's radar. And so far so good. I have had 2 brands reach out so far confirming rates for holiday campaigns, so we'll see. And I'm actually okay if my Q4 isn't super heavy on the brand deal front because in recent years, my November feed has looked a little too much like a billboard. Okay, the doorbell rang and reminded me of like a brand deals point B, a little sub-point to consider. Ask yourself how you are going to manage PR packages. This is something that I ask myself all year round, but in Q4, I just see such a big uptick as it costs brands so much less to send influencers a bunch of packages than it does to pay them to create content. But don't get me wrong, I feel like a kid at Christmas every time a box comes. I love it. If you're expecting to get a lot of PR over the holidays, figure out how you're going to attack it. Will you just be doing story shoutouts as you receive them? Will you do one big roundup unboxing? Will you try to turn any of them into paid partnerships? Or as I unfortunately tend to do, will they sit in a corner piling up as your guilt deepens? As you wait for the perfect opportunity to create content that does these gifts justice, and then that day never comes and suddenly it's halfway through Q1 and absolutely nobody wants to see your holiday gift boxes. Or will you just do your best to create organic content with everything? This is a bunch of stuff that was supposed to come from Peloton for a partnership I did with them while I was in Europe, but it never came in time. But now it's here and it's beautiful. And speaking of organic content, arguably the most important part of a Q4 content strategy is your organic content. Content designed to serve your audience and grow your business without any hashtag ad or sponsored attached to it. So the first thing we're gonna do is make a list of different themes, holidays, etc. that we can capitalize on and make content around so that we can create it in advance. And when we do this, we don't want to just consider the mainstream ones, but also as you brainstorm, look up different public holidays or celebrations to help you find some of those quirky national blank days that might align with your niche. And speaking of niche, make sure you account for anything truly unique happening in your industry. I know for my tech and gear creators, Techtember extends all the way into Techtober. For my writers, there's NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. Or I don't know another niche reference. Is it football season for my sports creators? I think it is. Don't be mad at me, I'm Canadian. So as I planned for Q4, I made a list of themes that I feel are relevant to me. I know I could dig a lot deeper and find some of those fun, unique days to celebrate, but I'm not about to overwhelm myself this year. But here are some thought starters that I came across that might help you. October 7th is Frugal Fun Day. Could be great for finance creators or even lifestyle creators who are looking to share some fun, frugal date ideas with their audience. November 1st is National Cinnamon Day. Well, yes, you could make or go pick up a fun cinnamon themed drink. Beauty or fashion creators can step outside of the box and do cinnamon themed makeup looks or cinnamon inspired outfits. Once you have these themes in mind, we move on to the next step. Ask yourself what content you can create that truly serves your audience. Content that will deepen your connection to them without a huge monetary gain to you. The sun keeps moving. As you brainstorm this, your focus should really be on the value to your audience. You should be clear on whether you're providing entertainment for them, inspiration, how-tos. What is something that they're going to want to save and share? Let's look at this for me. And yes, I've been journaling it. Looking at this list of themes, while yes, it would be epic to create content for all of them, I'm going to narrow my focus a little bit. On Comfy Girl Curls, my hair, beauty, and lifestyle brand, I'm planning on going hard for Halloween. This means digging up and creating content around last year's Halloween costume, which I'm hoping to put on my blog early enough for it to rank in Google search. And I'm also planning a series of short form content that will be like a 13 to 20 days of unique or obscure Halloween costumes. I'm hoping that it'll help build momentum over the course of the month and put me in front of a wider audience. Then if I'm not drained from all of that, I might sprinkle in some fall hair care or skincare tips, as well as some like holiday party styling ideas. The next part of the content strategy is how are you going to create content that is going to generate you some income? Because Q4 is truly the shopping season, there is so much opportunity to create organic content that is intended to be a source of income, specifically when leveraging affiliate marketing or selling your own products, i.e. putting together shopping guides, lists, recommendations, and tying them back and timing them to the themes that you outlined for yourself earlier. For me, this means I'm planning specifically for Black Friday and holiday shopping across both my platforms. Then I'm brainstorming different gift guides that I can put together. Some that came to mind for me are best gifts for content creators or stocking stuffers for influencers. Then for Comfy Girl Curls, I can lean into shopping guides for people with natural hair or items from Black-owned businesses. And personally for these, I'll be focusing on Amazon affiliates and Etsy. And when thinking about content in this monetization mindset, they don't all have to be about Christmas gifts or Black Friday steals. You can do a roundup post for anything in your Q4 themes. Just make sure they're targeted towards an audience with a shopping mindset. For example, best fall skincare products, Thanksgiving decor must-haves, fall colored tech accessories. Just play around and I know you'll find something. And finally, you need to determine a cadence that takes all of the above content into account and what format is the most realistic to create in that leaves you with room for events and family time. Because I think a lot of creators forget that part of why Q4 is so busy is because we're also doing so much more life on top of content creating. We've got holiday parties, families visiting. There's so many fun activities to get out and do. So be reasonable with your expectations and figure out if you're going to have the time and bandwidth to create full-length YouTube videos or blogs for all of these concepts. Or do you have to lean a bit more into short form because that takes you less time to execute? I'm mostly prioritizing social media content during this season with a few strategic blog posts and YouTube videos. I will probably be creating more of my monetization content in those formats so that I can benefit from them years down the line, while more of my community building and serving content will exist on Instagram and TikTok. I don't know about you, but this is the first year that I'm feeling a lot more in control of my Q4 calendar. And I'm glad that I took the time to make a bit more of a framework for myself, instead of just kind of feeling like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. As always, the planning is great, but the proof of success really lies in the execution. So let's hold each other accountable on that. Happy Q4, my friends.